swine flu. It is spreading and not stopping. There are now more than 60 confirmed cases here in the U.S. Carnival Cruise Line says it has canceled 3 Mexico stops for its cruise ships due to the swine flu. What impact, and this is what nobody is hitting, what impact will this have on the already battered Mexican economy as well as ours right here in the U.S.? With me now is Columbia University professor David Buckner. David, nobody is looking at, they're thinking of this as just, is it going to be a pandemic? Are we all going to die? This has a real chance of changing the economy like that in Mexico and here.
They're looking at it from a viral perspective, from what needs to be done in terms of a pandemic and how many people would get sick. It would have significant impact. You recognize that Mexico is quite fragile. $13 billion in tourism dollars go into Mexico, I believe the number. And when you start, Carnival starts pulling out, others start pulling out, with an already fragile economy, and this is an economy that's the 3rd top exchanging or importing, exporting economy with the United States, that's going to have a domino effect.
Right.
It's not just about sickness, albeit that's important. It's also about the domino that it creates, even in perception. If people aren't getting sick, but they believe that that it's occurring, that it's going to be a pandemic, you're hearing people already trying to move away from Mexico, both in terms of trade, both in terms of going there and tourism and other such things.
Let's flip it the other direction.
Right.
What does it do to our economy? Not just because don't we own a lot of Mexican debt?
We do.
Okay.
We hold a lot of debt, and if Mexico can't make the revenue, they can't service the debt, they can't just pay the interest on the debt, that's a problem. They get that from the revenue that comes both from tourism, from oil, from all of their major industries.
Okay, so let's look at it from the other side of the coin. That have you noticed that people are dying there, but they're not dying here?
We do appear to have a less severe strain.
Or we have better health care here.
We're getting it earlier.
If you are a mom and dad in Mexico, and you know that people around you are dying, but they're not dying in the United States, David, wouldn't you get in the car and come to the United States and try to get the free health care here?
I would move away from the city center. And whether it's the United States or another direction, it depends upon where you are. If I'm north of Mexico City, I'd probably move toward the north, try to get further and further away. Yeah, I'd go to where it's safe. I'd go to the medical health care because I know in the U.S. it's free if I walk in.
So what does that do to us, the extra burden on... Look, I don't mean to make this about numbers, but we are in... I've been describing this for several years. A perfect storm. I said back in September, there is a perfect storm that has come on shore. I've been talking about it for years, and it just came on shore. This is part of it. It is, while it's not connected, it is all connected on how much can we weather as a nation, as an economy, as a planet, the way we've set it up.
With this, you have two fronts. One, how much can we weather? We already have economic challenges. And so now you throw in a health challenge. By the way, and you made an interesting point at the very beginning I thought was quite compelling, and that is that we have so many challenges now. The first thing that people generally do is run to the government, a higher authority to care for me. It's a natural instinct. I'm not faulting it, but there is no residual government oversight when you have all of these storms coming together. We have economic, we have health. That's the first issue. The second issue is you do now have, with regard to Mexico, people coming over the border. We have health care that's free on this side of the border, free to them. Okay, they walk into a hospital, they need it, and what happens? We run the risk of passing that along. We run the risk of now them staying here. We run the risk of the domino.
Okay, David, thank you very much.
Good to see you.